Have you ever poured your heart out to help someone, going out of your way to be kind, only to have them take advantage of you? You lend a hand, offer your time, give without asking for anything in return. And yet, instead of receiving gratitude, you're met with indifference, or even worse, disrespect. It's a frustrating, painful experience, isn't it? It makes you question everything you thought you knew about kindness. You wonder, why does my good intention seem to backfire? Why is it that the more I give, the more others seem to walk all over me? Here's a truth most people won't tell you. It's not kindness that's the problem. The issue lies in how you give it. Kindness, when unbalanced, can actually cause people to lose respect for you. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But think about it. When kindness becomes a habit without thought, when it's given without boundaries or wisdom, it can be mistaken for weakness. And that's when people start to take it for granted. By the end of this piece, you'll understand why your kindness might be working against you and how to stop it. You'll discover how the Stoics, with their timeless wisdom, can guide you in maintaining both your kindness and your self-respect. It's time to stop being a doormat and start wielding kindness as a strength. Ready to dive in? Let's unpack it. 1. Kindness without boundaries leads to exploitation. The problem isn't kindness, it's how you give it. We all know the feeling of being the person who always says yes, the one who's there for everyone, no matter the time or cost. But what happens when kindness is handed out without limits? At first, it feels good to help. We feel like we're making a positive impact, like we're good people. But if we're not careful, that endless giving can quickly turn into something more dangerous: exploitation. The Stoics believed that everything in life requires balance. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to act with purpose, not to give blindly. When we give too much without considering the cost, whether it's our time, energy, or emotional bandwidth, we invite others to take advantage of us. And we do it all under the guise of being kind. The result? People stop respecting us because they begin to take our generosity for granted. Think of Sophia. She volunteered for every task, helped with every project, dropped everything for anyone who needed her. At first, people praised her generosity, but over time it became expected. She didn't say no dash. Even when she was overwhelmed, she gave and gave until she was drained. What happened? Her kindness wasn't appreciated, it was exploited. And the truth is, when you don't set boundaries, you're not really being kind. You're enabling others to treat you like a doormat. As Seneca said, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. If you waste your time constantly giving, constantly putting others' needs before your own, you're not being kind to yourself. Boundaries are essential to maintaining your peace and dignity. Next time someone asks for your time, ask yourself, is this request in line with my values? Your kindness will be far more powerful when it comes from a place of intention, not obligation. 2. Kindness without strength appears as weakness. Kindness, when given without strength, can often be perceived as weakness. The Stoics understood this well. They didn't believe that being kind meant being a pushover or giving in to others' demands. True kindness comes from a position of strength, not from a need to please or avoid conflict. John, the man who constantly says yes to everyone, provides the perfect example. He believes he's helping people by offering his time, resources, energy. But over time, he notices something troubling. People start taking him for granted. His colleagues expect him to stay late. His friends expect him to always be available. His family always wants him to do more. The more John gives, the less he gets in return. Not just in terms of gratitude, but respect. People don't respect someone who constantly bends to their will. The Stoics warned us against this kind of self-sacrifice without principle. Seneca was clear. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. John was wasting his time and energy on people who didn't respect him in return. The irony? By always trying to be nice, he was sacrificing his self-respect, which ultimately made him appear weaker, not kinder. True kindness doesn't mean being cold or unfeeling. It simply means that kindness comes with a backbone. When you offer help, do so from a place of strength. Stand firm in your values and boundaries, and others will begin to see you not as a doormat, but as someone who commands respect. 3. Expecting reciprocity leads to disappointment. The moment you give with the expectation of something in return, you set yourself up for failure. The Stoics believed that virtue, including kindness, should be done for its own sake, without strings attached. When you offer help expecting others to repay you, you're not really giving, you're trading, and that kind of transactional kindness can leave you frustrated and disillusioned when the expected gratitude doesn't come. Sophia helped a close friend move, giving up her entire Saturday to help with the heavy lifting. She expected her friend to return the favor someday, but when she needed help, her friend was nowhere to be found. Sophia felt hurt. She'd given so much and yet received nothing in return. Epictetus famously said, "If you want to improve, be content with the knowledge that you are doing the right thing, not with the expectation of admiration." Kindness should not be done to win approval or favors. It should be done because it aligns with your values. When you expect something back from your kindness, you're not actually being generous. You're using others as a means to an end. Instead, the Stoic way is to give freely, without expecting anything in return. By doing so, you preserve your peace of mind. When you give without expecting, you'll find satisfaction in the act itself, rather than being caught in the endless cycle of wanting something back. 4. Lack of self-respect undermines your kindness. Here's a harsh reality. If you don't respect yourself, others won't either. The Stoics believed in self-discipline and maintaining control over one's desires. If you continuously prioritize the needs of others over your own, you slowly begin to lose sight of your own value. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that actions should be driven by integrity and strength, not by the need to please others. If you don't have self-respect, your kindness loses its power. People start to see you as someone without boundaries, always available to cater to their needs. The truth? People won't respect you if you don't first show respect to yourself. Consider John again. He was always helping others, running around for people at work, assisting friends with personal issues. But he had no time for his own hobbies, his own growth, his own peace. His well-being came last. Slowly, he began to lose respect for himself. Seneca said, "A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." John was constantly sacrificing his own peace for others, and as a result, his kindness became a shadow of what it could have been. To be truly kind, you must first learn to respect yourself. Self-respect doesn't mean being selfish, but it does mean recognizing your own worth. When you take care of yourself, physically, emotionally, mentally, you set an example for others to follow. Only when you value your own time, energy, and boundaries can you offer kindness from a place of power, not depletion. You'll find that when you respect yourself, others will begin to do the same. 5. The art of saying no. Saying no is one of the most powerful tools. in your kindness toolkit. It's often the hardest word to say, but also the most necessary. The Stoics knew this well. They recognized that life isn't about saying yes to everything, especially when it compromises your own values or well-being. The key to being kind without being taken advantage of is knowing when to say no. Saying no doesn't make you unkind. It makes you wise. It makes you strong. It's how you preserve your energy and time for what truly matters. Sophia struggled with this. She felt guilty when she turned someone down, even when she was overwhelmed. But over time she realized that saying no didn't mean she wasn't kind. It simply meant she was being mindful of her energy. By saying no when necessary, she started to feel more in control of her time. Her friends and colleagues began to respect her more, because they saw she had limits. As Seneca said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Saying no is a reflection of that mastery. It's a way of showing others that you respect yourself, and you expect that same respect in return. When you learn the art of saying no, you create space for the things that truly align with your values. Your kindness becomes more powerful because it's not diluted by endless obligations. Next time someone asks for something you don't have the time or energy for, practice saying no. See how it feels. You'll find that it doesn't just protect your peace, it enhances your capacity to be genuinely kind when it counts. 6. Kindness should be guided by wisdom, not emotion. The Stoics taught us that emotions can cloud our judgment. While kindness is inherently a positive emotion, when it's guided solely by impulse or emotional reactions, it can lead to poor decisions. It can leave you feeling drained, unappreciated, or even resentful. True kindness, according to the Stoics, should be guided by wisdom and reason. It's not about doing what feels good in the moment. It's about doing what aligns with your values and your long-term well-being. John struggled with this. He was a deeply emotional person, driven by the need to please others. He'd say yes to favors without thinking, simply because he didn't want to disappoint anyone. But eventually, he realized his emotional responses were leading him to make decisions that weren't sustainable or healthy. The Stoic approach? Pause and reflect. Is this act of kindness truly beneficial for both of us? Kindness, driven by wisdom, is about knowing when to give, when to hold back, and how to do so with integrity. As Marcus Aurelius said, to be kind is to act with reason. This means taking a step back before reacting emotionally. It means being clear about your intentions, and knowing that true kindness doesn't just serve others, it serves you too. Acting with wisdom doesn't mean being cold or indifferent. It means giving when it's right, not when you feel pressured or overwhelmed. 7. Self-worth is the foundation of true kindness. At the heart of Stoic philosophy is the idea that self-worth is the foundation of everything. If you don't know your own value, you can't offer true kindness. Kindness that is rooted in self-respect is powerful. It's unwavering. The Stoics understood that without a strong sense of self-worth, your kindness becomes vulnerable to manipulation. You lose sight of what's truly important. Think about Sophia again. Once she started practicing self-respect, she stopped viewing herself as an extension of others' needs. She saw herself as worthy of care and respect, and in doing so, her kindness became more intentional and more impactful. She no longer felt obligated to give. She chose to give from a place of strength. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When you respect yourself, your kindness becomes a gift, not an obligation. You no longer feel drained or taken advantage of. because your kindness is coming from a place of abundance, not scarcity. True kindness is not about sacrificing your own well-being. It's about giving from a place of self-respect, knowing that you have the strength to say no, the wisdom to act thoughtfully, and the clarity to ensure that your kindness is always in alignment with your values. When you do this, you not only elevate your own life, you elevate the lives of everyone around you. Final thought: true kindness is bound by wisdom, not weakness. Kindness is a virtue, but like any power, it needs to be wielded with wisdom, strength, and integrity. When you learn to say no, when you act from a place of self-respect, when you stop expecting something in return, and when you guide your kindness with reason, you'll find that it no longer leaves you feeling drained or disrespected. It becomes a source of strength, both for you and for others. Kindness is strength, but only when it's grounded in self-respect. Remember, true kindness is not about endless giving. It's about giving wisely, with purpose, and from a place of self-respect. When you master this balance, your kindness won't just be respected. It will change your life for the better. If this piece resonated with you, hit the like button. It motivates me to create more meaningful content. And don't forget to share this with someone who might need this reminder today. If you enjoyed today's discussion, subscribe so you won't miss future content. More Stoic wisdom is coming your way. Let's spread kindness, starting with small but powerful actions. Thanks for being here. Keep moving forward with kindness and strength. See you in the next video.